All right, a beautiful day wherever you're watching us. Welcome to the talk show, the much awaited talk show, the one you am sure you've been waiting to join us on, the Spotlight Talk Show. My name is Akeem. I'm going to be your host on this beautiful episode of the program. And like you know, we bring to you trends, lifestyles, politics, entertainment. We bring to you all walks of life, genres, people excelling in different platforms, and of course, contemporary news that would, of course, better your lot as our viewer. Once again, I want to say thank you so much for being a part of the program. This episode is going to be very, very, I call it, it's going to be filled with energy because of the nature of my guest, and not just the nature of my guest, the topic we're talking about. So that we're taking a peep into, the data business technology world. And I have a guest who has swerved far and wide, who has come a long way in this field and has excelled, not just as a practitioner, but as a coach. And it's such an honor for me to have that Amazon with me in the studios today. I will be formally introducing her to you in the course of this program. But before we continue, once again, I would encourage all the viewers to like, to share, and subscribe. And of course, it's going to be something you're going to learn something new from today on the episode of the Spotlight Talk Show. So let's cut to the chase. We're going to be welcoming our guest with me in the studio. She's no other person than Nena Oboma. Good day, Nena. Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure having you with us in the studios.
Good day. I mean, this is Sunday afternoon and a very, very great day. I want to say hello to everyone that is viewing me. Here in Canada, it's a snow day. I mean, it's a cold day, not necessarily a snow day.
Yeah. But it's I would say it's a beautiful weather for us. Where we're transmitting from in Barrie today, we in the morning we had 3 degrees. Unlike 2 days ago where we had feels like minus 45 and something weird.
God. Can you remind me of that? It was freezing.
Yeah, really, really freezing.
Oh,
All right, so Nena, let's cut to the chase. We want to meet you. We want you to tell us about yourself. Give us a brief profile about yourself for the next 1 or 2 minutes. Then we're gonna continue the program.
okay. I like to introduce myself. I usually like to start from, what I read in school. So my name is Neno Oboma, and I'm actually a graduate of engineering. I worked in Nigeria for some time. I was really working in banking, and then I came into Canada in 2010. And coming into Canada, I've been in the business data analysis space. And I had my master's before I came in, but I don't think those are the things that made me excel. I think that I have excelled basically because I've always, positioned myself as a business professional. I believe that consistency is really what makes you excel. Just keep doing that thing that you're doing and keep pushing on it, but consistently, and you will see that you'll find yourself eventually getting up there if you are really moving in that right place. So I had the opportunity of working in the corporate. I did work. I worked in different organizations, including the bank, and I have been doing the business data analysis profession.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nena. Now, you see, like, this is one thing about the guest I bring on this show. They always mention something, which is consistency, and ordinarily in your introduction, that's already reoccurring. So, honestly, to all our viewers, I'm going to say it, that consistency really matters in whatever you do. Your ability to identify your area, your scope on where you can grow, you're passionate about it, and you remain consistent in that same space over time. Because in the course of this program, you're going to find out how in terms of profiling my guest is, we're going to get to that point, and I'm holding on to that consistency. Now let's talk about what you just mentioned, the business analysis world. And I would want to start by what technical skills does a data analyst need? Like, I want to pick it up from that angle. We always hear business analyst, and I know they are also kind of data analysts. What technical skills do they need?
Okay, so before I answer that question, I like to always, start from business analyst. So when we say business analysis, right, we're talking about two things in one. We are talking about business analyst, and we're also talking about data analyst. A business analyst is just simply a business professional, the ability to analyze what is happening in your business. And data analysis is that you are analyzing what is happening with your business, but you're analyzing it with facts. So a business person analyzes what is happening to the business, and a business data analyst uses data to analyze it. So there are different ways to do your analysis. You can analyze based on guesswork, but I think in the current market, analyzing using data is the very best thing that can happen to you, because guessing is no longer working. Competition is so high that when you guess, your margin is so tiny that you're going to get it wrong. What are the main skills for data analysis? Data analysis is your ability to reason, your ability to critically reason. But there are tools that will help you so that that reasoning is not too hard for you. And that's when we talk about tools like Excel, SQL, Tableau, which is just, it's just a visualization. You're just looking at charts to be able to say my sales is growing in point A versus in point B. That is simply what data analysis is. You're analyzing it to support a business decision that you want to make.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And in the course of that explanation, I want to say, like, are you saying either business analyst or data analyst? Are you saying they only work in production companies, like where they have sales? Is that what you're saying? Are you saying they can work in other in other departments that doesn't have to do with sales?
So in business analysis and data analysis is about analyzing a business opportunity. And everything that we have is a business opportunity. For example, when I came to Canada, one of the things I was trying to look for was, how do I know the industry that I can pivot, an industry that has opportunity? So what did I have to do? I did data analysis. How did I do that? I went to indeed.ca and downloaded opportunities. And I use data to analyze to see where is the opportunity that people are looking for. The same thing, you can do it with even admission. You can download and say, where are the schools that take a lot of immigrants? Data analysis is needed in every industry. In healthcare, how do they know the success of COVID? It is through the collection of data that people are able to say whether the COVID vaccine was good or bad. That is how they're able to know how many people died of COVID. That is how, if you go to banking, when they give out loans, how do they know how many people that default? When you go to education, when they give money to different provinces and different states and different schools to promote math education, it is data that they use to know whether there is good effect based on that. Should they add money? Should they remove? How do they know where the good teachers are going, their qualifications? Every industry, in manufacturing, every industry needs data. It is said that data is an asset. Indeed, it is. As much as employees are assets to companies, so also data is. Can you see how important data has become? And because data is now a valuable asset to every organization, why not data analyst? Why
Awesome.
not?
Thank you so much. Like, I feel the energy, and I'm learning something new today. That data itself is an asset Wow, that's great. That's great. I have not really, I never saw it from that perspective, but in the reality of it, I do agree with you completely. All right, for those of you just joining us, it's still the Spotlight Talk Show. My guest is Nena Boma. She is a coach, and here we are. We're talking about data analyst and business analyst. She's been able to, draw the lines and educate me on the importance, on the pivotal implications of these two roles in the overall economy. And just like she said, they are applicable in every sector. That's great. Now, I want to ask you, as a business analyst coach, what is your greatest strength?
So my greatest strength is the ability to use critical thinking, to use analytical reasoning. How I always tell, when you look at a proper business professional, they're always very busy trying to make one decision and make another decision. Always very busy. Having someone they can trust, having someone that is able to navigate their path is valuable for me. Because when you make those decisions, when you help support those decisions, and you see your decisions being implemented, your recommendations being implemented, it makes it very valuable. So one thing I do as a coach is helping people to understand the value they offer to the business as a business data analyst. First of all, you're a business. I'm not talking about business analysis. I am talking about business data analysis. Everybody is a business analyst. You don't need an extra training to be a business analyst. A business analyst is just your ability to communicate and socialize. That is business. Once you're able to work in a corporation and you're able to socialize with people, you're able to communicate by understanding what people are saying and saying it back, you're a business analyst. But how do you recommend solutions if you do not have data? How do you recommend solutions? How are you able to solve problem when you have no facts on the table? When you have no facts, you're just listening to me and passing it across to another. Some people call them glorified secretaries. But when you have data, you are bringing solution on the table. You're bringing value on the table. You're going beyond a business analyst. You're going beyond just collecting the requirements to actually offering some valuable solutions towards those decisions. So I tell people that for me is the ability, to bring those value, to coach people to bring value to their respective organizations is one thing that I hold very dear as a coach.
Wow, interesting, interesting. Honestly, I'm looking at it from the perspective whereby you yourself, based on what you have just explained, I see you to be an asset as a coach for whoever would be passing through you, because your last analysis was really really it was really impressive for me, because I got the message of what you were trying to say there. Identifying the real strength in terms of the impact. That was what you were able to just explain to me. I want to say thank you so much. It takes me to the next question before we go on our first break. These business analysis, data analysis, career path, how sought after is it in the Canadian labor market, and what are the prospects? Could you run us through it?
So just think about it. I just said data is an asset. We hear the noise everywhere. And let me throw it back to you, to the audience, and you just help me reason as we reason together.
Okay.
There is recession, right? So if you're a business person and you hear that there is recession, or you hear that there is competition, or you hear that, oh, the market is shaking, what will be your first thing? Your numbers. What will be your first thing to do? How are my numbers doing? Your projects are not the very first thing you're going to be thinking about. Your projects, you'll be cutting them off. I don't need things that will make me spend more money. But I want to be sure I want to be sure where my money is going to. line by line, line by line. That is the job of a data analyst. They tell you line by line, where are you spending your money? So that you can be like, no, 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 I don't want to do this. And in such a market like this, they monitor it every time. So if reports they were doing once a week, now they want it every day because they want to be sure. So a data analyst is ever needed in an organization. You can't throw them away. So even in this market, it's so viable. And one thing I like about that career is growth. Many, because you are an integral part of business, you learn business too. So you grow. You're not going to stay in one place. I had a student that came in 3 years ago. He was a senior analyst, but today he's a director in a pharmaceutical company. Within 3 years, growth. It also happened to me. In 2013, I moved from an analyst to a director. Growth. Why? Is because you're needed. When I came in 2010, in 2 weeks that I applied for job, I applied a lot. So I like when I applied for job, I applied like 30 a day. But in 2 weeks, I got 21 interviews.
Wow.
And this is not about just going for interviews. It's about getting the job. Because, like I said, data is an asset. So those who can analyze it is also an asset. And because many people are running away with it. If you look at demand and supply, when something is in demand and supply is low, you get it immediately. When supply is very high, just like you see in the ordinary business analysis, then you have a lot of competition. So, and the good thing is, it is not hard, but people think it is hard because it's just simple reasoning and logics. So one of the things that I've been able to do is to coach people in very simple ways how data analysis is just simple reasoning. It is not hard because as every business person, even in your homes, you calculate how much should you can tell your child, no, I can only give you $100 a month. Why? Because you're doing analysis. You're already doing it. It's not new. You get your salary, 2,000 every month. You have decided how much I'm going to put for grocery, how much to rent, how much. You're already doing the analysis. So why don't you coach in it so that you can get yourself a good job? You're already doing it. So what else makes it difficult? Whether it's 2,000 that you're analyzing or 1 million, the principle is the same.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. And then now from what you're saying, I want to find out from you. Do you have a company that does this training for data analyst, or you have the one that does for business analyst, or you have for the both as a coach? I just want to find out directly from you.
So my course is the combo because I found out that in the market that being a business analyst is not sufficient. But being a business analyst with a data analyst makes you valuable and allows you to beat competition.
So how do you how do you put it on your resume? How do you put it on your resume that you are both a business analyst and a data analyst, or there is a coinage for the both?
Correct. That's what the coach does for you. The coach translates it for you and make it possible. Remember, if you say I am a marketing data analyst, marketing is the business, then data analyst. So the department you work for is the business, but the translation of your resume is the job of the coach. So I will help you understand how to translate your resume based on the skills you already know because you're already doing it. I always hear in my class, people will be like, oh, I'm already doing these things. Just that I did not know that was data analysis. So what a coach does for you is to bring in remembrance, to magnify the skills you already have and build confidence in you to be able to use it. That is what coaching is all about.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nena Boma. Like I said, when I started this show, I said it's going to be full of energy because I'm having a coach with me. These people, this is what they do every time, the impact they magnify, they make you realize your purpose. And of course, that's what she's doing. And then we'll be taking a very short 30 seconds break. And I'd want you to use that to just take a glass of water. And when we come back, we'll be looking, we're considering more things about the practice of what you're talking about. I'll be right back. All right, welcome back wherever you're watching us. It's still the Spotlight Talk Show with Akeem, and my guest is still with me in the studio. That Amazon, and then Uboma, it's such an honor, such a pleasure having you share with us your knowledge and wealth of experience as a coach in the industry. Now, the next question I have for you is, what do you consider the most important part of the practice you're talking about? What's the most important part on the side of the person coming to learn and on your own part and on the part of the business? Is a three-way thing. What is the most important thing that holds this triage together?
So I always ask people a question. Why be only a business analyst when you can be a business data analyst? You know, I tell people that even you yourself, you're a brand, you're a business. The same way Apple is a business, the same way Nena is a business. And so everybody's always looking for the competitive advantage so that you can beat your competitors. And what data does for you is that it gives you the competitive advantage. What I say is you have the best of two worlds. So you have the world of business and you also have the world of technology. So it means that you can be a business analyst, you can be a data analyst, you can be a business system analyst, you can be a tester because you're the one testing the data that comes out of source A and source B to know whether they are right. Then it's a base career. So you can move into the technology career. I have a student that moved on to become an architect. And I also have a student that moved on to become a business strategist, a product owner. So it's amazing how the practice makes you everything. I tell people that when somebody gives you a data request, it has a beginning and it has an end. Automatically, you're a project manager because you're managing the fulfillment of your requirements. You're a developer because you're actually solutioning the requirements you gathered. You're basically everything. So you see how what I do during my coaching is to give you the different perspectives of career that you can go through depending on the areas you love. So you know why I love the practice? It gives you, it is the base of every other career that you would ever want to be.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That's really leveraging for me. And then I just hope at the end of this program you're not going to convince me to leave my accounting practice to become because I'm actually following the drive and I'm very
I have a lot of accountants that are coming on board because traditional accounting is going away. People are looking for insights now. So what is the insight from your books? That is the question. So these days they are becoming accounting data analysts. They are bringing forth the insights, the business insights from the accounting data.
Awesome. Okay, that's very good. Thank you so much. For those of you joining us from different platforms, if you're reaching us from Twitter, please do feel free. You can drop your comments. We're going to have them show live. We have this person, Jamna Lal. I love you too. I don't know, but thank you so much, Emmanuel. Please, thank you for the thumbs up. Those other people, we're going to keep sharing what you send. If you have a question, you want to talk to the coach, please feel free at this point and reach out, or you have valuable questions you want to attend to in the course of this live broadcast, do feel free and add your questions to any of the platforms on Twitter, on Facebook, or YouTube. We're going to get them live in the studios here. Once again, it's still the Spotlight, and with my guest, the Amazon lady, that coach, Nena Uboma. Now I want to ask a question. It's a question of do you agree or do not agree that an average business or data analyst needs a considerable level of experience before it can function? Just like you mentioned, accountant. Yeah, you must be an accountant before you go into this. So, do you agree that for you, you can't just start from nowhere without having a foundation of maybe a career path before you jump into? Do you agree or you do not agree, and justify each either side you're um
So I
responding?
disagree. And why do I disagree? I disagree because there are levels in every career. So I disagree that you need experience, a level of experience to go into business analysis, because even simply growing up is already an experience. If you're 18, you've gotten experience for 18 years. If you're 20, 25, you've gotten experience and you've encountered decisions in life. You've managed business without knowing it. You've managed a lot of businesses about yourself without even knowing it. And I must tell you one thing, data talks. You know, I can give you my own typical example. When I took up a career in the hospitality industry, I had no single experience about their business. And I have never worked in hospitality before. And then during my interview, I was asked a question and I told them data talks. So I will, through the analysis of your data, challenge your business operations, challenge your status quo, bring new eyes to the business. Because one thing that business does is that in an accounting field, they bring a lot of accountants. They all think the same. So you see the gaps and the holes they never see. When they bring somebody who is not an accountant, the person questions everything. And as the person is questioning it, the accountants will see the gaps and the holes. That is what the data analyst does to a business. When you know data, you understand data, the business will teach you the business because you're part of their business.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay. Honestly, it's really exciting having a coach talk to us today. And then okay, now tell us about your career path being a coach and your current like your brand and what you do. We I really want to know more about what you do, the name of your outfit, how many years have you, how many graduates have you said? What are the success stories in terms of reviews and testimonials of people that has gone through your tutelage?
Okay, that's really, really a great question. So when I look at myself as a coach, remember I'm also into analysis. I count myself a great success. Because um I've been doing this for over 5 years, and believe me, my success rate is over 98% for those who truly came to the class and also looked for job. In my the class I had in summer last year, one of the students just sent me a message and said, "Oh, I have now been fully employed in in the federal government," and that's always the story. And these people they didn't have any other experience before they came into my fold. So my success is very high. If you want to read testimonials, you want to see testimonials, videos, real videos about my students. Many of them are on Instagram page. You know, when people are giving you videos, not one, not two. My class size is usually about 10, sometimes less than 10, because I really like to do coaching. I like to do one-on-one coaching. I'm not in it for money. I'm in it for community, giving back to community. Because how did I even get into this career? Sometime about 2015, I go to Redeemed Church, right? And my pastor said, you're in a field where it's only you there. There are no other black people. Why don't you consider coaching? And I said, oh, I don't really think I want to do coaching. Believe me, he gathered my first set of students. About my first set, my second set, he gathered the students and said, Nana, you should coach. And that was how I went into it. So I didn't go into it with that, oh, I needed a side hustle. I went into it because somebody identified and said, bring forth some of the community into there. And when I started it, oh, it's been a training for me. It taught me patience because I wasn't a very patient person initially. I wondered, oh, I mean, some things I took for granted. I felt people should know it. But it has also trained me to be a leader myself, to understand people. and to help people patiently lead people. So through that training, I have become, a transformational leader, somebody that can really transform people, transformational leader, people, someone that can transform people from a point A to a point B. I could see my students grow. So on Instagram, my handle is Triple J Consulting. Triple J Consulting. You will see lots and lots of testimonials about how people think about me, what people say about the class, and how the class has really helped them to move their career forward. So we do run classes 3 times in a year. So we have the winter, the summer, and the fall class. And any of those classes, we do them via Zoom. So no matter where you are in the world, you can join us. And that's why our class has always an average of around 10, because we do one-on-one, like even during the class, we pay attention to everyone. Remember, I am a teacher, not, remember, I am a coach, not just a teacher. So the the need for that one-to-one touch. So even though you're on the Zoom, I want you to share your screen. I want to hear your voice. I want to make sure that I'm impacting you. You're not just in my class for being in my class. So as long as you're willing, you're consistent, and you're committed, I know that I'm able to make a difference in you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Honestly speaking, I am inspired, what you've been able to identify with and grow into in the past, since 2015 to date. The journey so far has been very intriguing for me. Just like you said, you didn't start this for the passion of like a side hustle thing. It's just because you believe the community should leverage on it. And that's going to take us to the next part of this program. But before then, we'll be taking our next break. And this time we will Nena, I'm going to bring you back to the studio. Go get a glass of a cup of water, and just chill out. And I'm going to be back in less than, half a minute or thereabout. We're going to continue the program. It's still the Spotlight Talk Show, and I want to say thanks to everyone for being a part of it. We'll be taking our first commercial break, and after the break, the program continues. All right, welcome back. Wherever you're watching, it's still the Spotlight Talk Show with Akeem, and this beautiful evening from the city of Barry, where we're transmitting, we're having with us connected virtually in the studios an Amazon, a lady of value, beauty with brains, a mother of, I can just keep talking about my guest on and on and on. And thank you so much, Nena, for being a part of the show. I'm excited having you. So we want to digress a bit. We want to leave all this business coach thing. I want to talk about you now. No, I know you in the community in the past 5 years that I've been around. You have received several awards, a lot of laurels, letters of appreciation from government, a lot of things. You are highly placed in the community. And the one that really, one very big one I remember was when you were nominated as one of the 100 most influential Black women in Canada. Could you tell us this journey? How did you build all these apart from you being a community person, being a coach? Tell us about your story. We want to learn and be inspired.
So to be very truthful, one of the ways that you can actually, impact people, one of the greatest things you can do and you can keep as a legacy is your impact in the lives of others. So most community awards and most awards that you get is when people can look at you and see you as a mentor, see you as a role model, see you as a coach, right? And that's all I have always, done. I have done to be able to, for me to stand out, as a leader. So within the corporate in Canada, I work as a director in one of the big banks. So that's also is it's climbing the corporate ladder, which is not which is also, trying to break that norm and get yourself up there so that other young people can see you. And then apart from that, being mentor. So I've mentored, students from University of Toronto. I've mentored a lot of corporate people, even within the banks. I've mentored within the Nigerian communities. I've mentored so many things. I've done a lot of, conferences for the Black youths over the summer, sponsored by myself. I've done things like, I've written. In fact, I wrote a book which I just recently launched this February, which is called Lessons to My Younger Self. So it's all about leaving a legacy for the younger generation, so that the path that I have gone through, anyone that calls themselves my younger self, is not a matter of age, it's a matter of walking through that same path, can be able to walk it. I've mentored a child to become a phenomenal lady within Canada. She came out on CBC on February 4th. She was flagged. That's my daughter Jasmine. So all this work has contributed, to the reason why most people see me as a mentor, a role model, a leader. And that is really what has given me lots of awards and lots already on the pipeline for this year.
Consistency. Keep doing what you're doing. That's just it. Thank you so much. And then to the average person watching, honestly, this is why we have this show. It's a spotlight. We bring cream de la creams in the community, outstanding personalities, people of repute. They come to share their wealth of experience, and all we have to do is watch and learn and get inspired. Thank you so much, Inena, for your time. Now, I want to come back to your the Triple J brand. You said something one that was pretty outstanding. You are not just a teacher; you are a coach. You use the one-on-one approach. You want to make sure that your class, they are at the edge of their seat in terms of communication. That's the two ends of communication. Now that takes me to, apart from that, what makes Triple J Consulting a unique brand to watch out for, to go and be a part of the success story?
So for us, you winning is me winning. Remember, you just said about me having such a very big reputation, So you should know that then my name is very, very important to me, because having such a big reputation, the things I do have to align with that reputation. So for me, you winning is one of the things that makes it for me. So what do? We are always available for you. So even after the classes, we are there for you. We put up everything for you that will make you succeed, whether it's your resume, whether it's your interview tips, whether it's your one-on-one support, just holding you. We teach like ABC, because all we want to do is to see you succeed. So what really makes us different is the way we impact you, because you are primary to our success, because you're the core of the business, right? So what makes us different is that we are available, always available. There are times that you are looking for someone, you're looking for your coach, you can't find the person. You're looking for your mentor, you can't find the person. Some you have to book for two weeks because they're not there for you. I don't take more than I can chew. Even if it is $1 million, I will not take it. I can only take what I can chew. Because why? The money is not the principle for me. Because I do have a job. So by coming on to me, you're just coming for mentorship. Because again, I want to impact lives. Remember, I want to leave a legacy that will be in the hearts of men, not in the epitaph. I don't want it written on my grave. I want it in the lives of those that I have met, and it will live on in their lives, generation after generation. So that when you see my own generation, you will be like, oh, you're Nana's daughter. I will do that for you. I want an impact.
Wow, 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 wow. Bravo. That's a philosophy I do share in. And I would say, like you said, you don't want anything on your tongue. You want it to be in the lives of people. And here you are living your life. Thank you so much for being a blessing to your generation. Thank you for those ideologies that are not self-made. These are legacy visions. Not just everybody thinks that way. Now I have the conviction that, for all those people giving you all this recognition, community awards here and there, the government seeing what you're doing, CBC, profiling your protege. This shows that these are what they found out about you. And I'm taking a lesson. I'm taking a lesson home from this conversation. Thank you so much, my guest. I have somebody who sent a message there. That's Queen Irene Chukwuma. Thank you so much. I'm Vic and Vic Studio. She said this is very educative. Thank you so much. I would also want to go to this other question before we begin a call it today. In terms of the Nigerian Canadian community, how would you describe its attending influence in the business tech world in Canada?
So I personally think that there is a gap missing sometimes within the Nigerian community. So I see a lot of Nigerians running out to become business analysts, right? They just take that arm of business analyst. But I now see after a while I start to see frustrations within that. It's either they do it because they come in and they feel like, oh, it's so simple. But one thing I tell people, anything that everybody tells you it's very simple means that the supply is also a lot. That is simple economics. When anything is very simple, people say very simple, the supply will always be more than the demand. So I see a lot of them go into business analysis, and at the end of the day, they can't find growth or they can't even find the job. So I always tell Nigerians, right, increase your influence. I see so many people, they go into contract jobs. They don't want to take the full-time jobs, but they still complain that they don't have any power of influence within corporate. How can you have influence when you're an outsider? How can you have influence when you're extremely external? So I really want the Nigerian community to be able to understand that people, we have to make the part for our next generation. We have to pay the price. Somebody will always have to do it. We have to, use consistency to rise to the top. And we can only rise to the top when we are inside, not outside. When we are not, we can be external contractors and get to the top where we will have influence. We need to rise. We need to take those positions so that we will be able to create opportunities for our younger ones. And how do you do that? You have to be in business technology. You have to be part and parcel of the business, of what happens in the business, of how business is taking their decisions, and so that you can be able to move. You can have knowledge. If you're just a tech person, like a contractor that just does work and leaves, you will never learn the business because you're so external. But when you're internal, you rise, you grow, and then you make opportunities for the ones coming. And that's something I do not see. I see the Nigerian community so focused on what they are getting out at the immediate rather than building for tomorrow. I do acknowledge that some people are already building it, but it's something that I want to see more and more, where we are thinking about, the influence that we are going to create rather than what we are taking in by ourselves, just us, Think about the larger community. How can you impact? We all have something to give to the next person positively. The only thing is, do we want to use it? Do we want to do it? And that's one of the reasons why I wrote Lessons to My Younger Self. It's on Amazon. Go and look for it. Lessons to My Younger Self by Obama. You get the book, you will see a compilation of my nuggets, things I have learned through business, so that we can actually start influencing. Nigerians need to influence. We are becoming very large. So our influence has to be noticed. So that's really what I have to say.
Yeah, and I'm going to add to that our influence being noticed. We should also come together, like in terms of making the community, having that positive image, building the positive image about the community, and working together as a team, so that collectively we can enjoy the benefits of the inclusivity policy of Canada. Thank you so much. And then this is going to be off the chat. It's going to be my second to the last question. It's Black History Month, and there are lots of messages going out there here and there. Being my special guest on this episode of a February edition. What is your Black History Month inspiration? Just like you mentioned, you have nuggets, you have great things you're doing in the community, and you believe in people. What's your message for the Black community, considering the Black History Month we have currently?
So the Black History Month is a time that we have to remember, how far we've gone to where we are today, right? And one thing that I made up my mind that I was going to offer in this show is, if you have any questions, 1 hour, I am going to give it to you. Call me, ask me questions. Are you starting your career? Do you have any unique thing that you want to ask? Even if you're not on this live show, but you come across this, this video, connect with the host, or you can connect with me on Triple J Consulting on Instagram, and you can book a 1 hour question and answer for me, where I can direct you at no cost, free of charge. That's something I am giving. February is a time when we give back to the Black community, when we try to magnify the Black community, show forth our existence, make sure that people are hearing from us that it's not about the color of our skin, that we are very smart people, we are very industrious people, and we need a chance to be able to showcase the things that God has given to us. But my message to you is, be consistent. Stop, quick returns, see quick rewards. Sometimes it's not what you need. Be consistent, because as you're consistent, you will be noticed. You will be able to get to where you want to go eventually, no matter how long it takes. Consistency will always take you to that journey. It's not about the skills that make it's not the skills that make the great men. It is the consistency of what they are doing that eventually made them. Many of them do not have very perfect skills or anything, but they were moving, they kept moving, they were consistent, and that is really eventually what made them great, not the quick results. We are always fixed on the money, the result, the dollar. Sometimes it takes away from the journey for us. Focus on your journey and be consistent to get to your goal.
Thank you so much. And on a final note, please, could you drop your contact, like apart from Instagram? I know you've mentioned Instagram severally. Are there other ways? And for wherever you're watching from, you have 1 hour free consultation to speak to this coach who's going to inspire you, redefine your career path, and help you magnify those things that you feel needs amplification mentally. So, in the next 1 or 2 minutes, to round off, could you drop us all your contacts and possibly a final word?
So you can also reach me on info@triplej.ca. info@triplej.ca. And triple means 1P. info@triplejconsulting.ca. And my phone number is 289-627-8486. 289-627-8486. And one thing that I want to tell everyone is that you have a super you in you. The difference is, do you want to discover it or you don't want to discover it? But God created us with a super you in you. So some people go through the journey of discovering their super you, while others let it lie. They don't ever bother. But anyone who bothers to discover their super you, find that they do have indeed some great skills, some great gifts that God gave them. Every of us, the world is very large, and all of us can coexist as super yous. So discover your super you. That is why you need a mentor and a coach.
All right, thank you so much, Anena. On behalf of my team here in the studios, we want to say thank you for your time. Thank you for being our guest on this episode of the Spotlight Talk Show. And we are optimistic that over time, we'll still want to come back to you and still leverage and learn and share from your wealth of knowledge and experience. So thank you so much for being a part of it. And we will Always appreciate you for your intellectual, opulence to us. Thank you so much. All right. At this point, this is how far we'll be able to go on this episode of the Spotlight Talk Show. My name remains Akeem. I want to say thank you to the entire staff and team, everybody who's been able to work together to set up this episode of the program. We say thank you. And of course, we also want to say thank you to our sponsor, Mr. Bayo Alaushebikon. Thank you so much for being there. And we are saying we're going to come back again in the next 2 weeks. We'll bring to you another beautiful edition. Don't forget, it's still winter. Stay warm and stay out of trouble. It's over from Dayside, and we wish you the beautiful week ahead. Goodbye.